Okay, Dana and company, thank you. Well, you might remember last night we told you about the Pokemon Go craze. A lot of people are playing this game on their phones. It can be fun, but also potentially dangerous.
Tonight, new concerns about sex offenders luring children and cyber criminals stealing your information. CBS 2's Jennifer McLogan reports now from Babylon.
Sulma Rivas is part of the Pokemon Go scavenger hunt adventure craze. So are her 3 children. She keeps a watchful eye.
I don't want to do it when my mom's not around because I can get hurt.
Pokemon Go is exploding in popularity. Babylon town officials monitored hundreds of all ages circling the lake in Argyle Park, heads down, smartphones in hand.
She does enjoy her Jigglypuff.
And Squirtle. It's just fun to say, you know.
And these are called Pokestops?
How old are you?
12.
And you do this unsupervised?
Maybe.
Ethan said his parents dropped him off here in a safe area, but county officials are worried about the luring component of the game. With 38,000 registered sex offenders in New York State, they fear it might be easy to fake an ID and stalk a child player.
The people who are the quickest to adapt to new trends in social media technology are criminals and predators.
The loan wants Pokemon Go developer Niantic to install e-stop technology, making it tougher for predators to sign on, demanding more checks and balances. After downloading the app, players are asked to sign up with their Google account, using existing credentials to ensure the process is fast and simple. But that can put at risk your emails, maps, cameras, photos, and storage. That pool of data could be a boon for cyber criminals.
Oh, really? Honestly, I haven't heard anything about that. That would be unfortunate. I probably wouldn't play the game if that was a real problem.
One computer crimes expert asks, is the possibility of privacy invasion a worthwhile trade-off for the experience of Pokemon Go? From Babylon, Jennifer McLogan, CBS 2 News.
Now, the developer of Pokemon Go says it is working closely with authorities to keep all players safe, and they also say that it has no plans to share the data it collects with third parties.
Well, the new Pokemon Go game has been downloaded on millions of phones all across the country, but police say users of the virtual scavenger hunt may unwittingly be putting themselves in danger. CBS 13 learned that parents need to know that their children may be playing the virtual game where sex offenders live.
A real eye-opener. CBS 13's Ron Jones is in the newsroom with his disturbing discovery.
You know, the app can be a lot of fun for kids playing Pokemon Go out there on the street. However, we found some unexpected dangers right here on the internet.
Pokemon Mania is real.
Pokemon Go is a virtual scavenger hunt where players find and catch Pokemon in neighborhoods they're directed to by GPS through the game's app. But police are urging people to accompany children playing the game to protect them from unexpected dangers.
My oldest grandson got bit by a dog because the Pokemon Go took him to a place and he had to reach his arm over a fence, so he got bit.
We did a scavenger hunt for Pokemon in Midtown Sacramento. We did not encounter any dangerous dogs, but we did find registered sex offenders on the Megan's Law website near or right next to Pokemon stops. The same stops your kids may be directed to.
We're not supposed to judge anybody.
This man who does not want to be identified is not a fan of the Pokemon Go game because he says he's a registered sex offender. He says by law he's required to keep his distance from children, but can't help it if Pokemon's app bring the players, including kids, near his home.
I think it's not fair.
Parents we spoke with say moms and dads need to be aware of the dangers of Pokemon Go, and so do their kids.
Your parents are giving you parameters on where to go, where not to go. And just because you're playing a game doesn't give you permission to go someplace you're not supposed to go.
Now, we've added a link on Pokemon Go safety tips and, of course, Megan's Law. It's on our website, CBS13.com.
At 11, a registered sex offender accused of playing Pokemon Go with children in Greenfield. 41-year-old Randy Zuick is registered as a sexually violent predator after a child molesting conviction in May. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison, but was apparently out on parole when he was reportedly found playing Pokemon Go with children on the courthouse lawn. He was arrested on a probation violation and is being held without bond pending.
I'm shaken up a bit. I was walking home from Elm Street, path I take every day that I come from there.
24-year-old Michael Stapleford's normal route home on South Willow Street turned dangerous early this morning.
I was playing Pokemon and I was walking around a little bit aimlessly.
Pokemon Go is a smartphone game meant for people to be physically active and catch Pokemon characters. While playing, Stapleford says he was confronted by two men.
They pulled a knife out, not to me at that point, just to threaten me at that point, and told me to sit down. At that point in time, I handed over the phone because they asked for it. I was hoping they would hand it back. I wasn't so lucky.
Stapleford says they eventually put the knife to his neck and also took his wallet, which he managed to get back.
From there, I went to McDonald's in contact with the police.
One of the officers arriving at the old bike path was able to locate one of the individuals. A second individual ran through the woods, and fortunately we had a police canine on. It took about 25 to 30 minutes, but they did track him down nearby about several blocks away.
They seemed pretty drunk when I was hearing them while I was walking around, so they didn't seem like the greatest of people, so I should have probably just continued to avoid them, but I didn't.
Stapleford insists playing the game isn't dangerous, but says he'll be more aware in the future.
Don't stop you from playing the game. I played it till 4:30 in the morning, but just keep somebody with you if you're going to be out late.
Raymond Levine and Michael Drake were both charged with armed robbery and resisting arrest. In Manchester, Kristen Pope, WMUR.
The 24-year-old male victim was allegedly out playing Pokémon GO in the bike trail in Manchester behind the old Shaws.
Police say that's when this man, Michael Drake, held a knife to the victim's throat and allegedly threatened him. Police say that Drake and Raymond Levine wanted the victim's cell phone worth more than $400. Police adding the victim had $2 in his wallet, which Drake and Levine also took. After the robbery, the victim went for help.
He immediately ran to a local business and contacted us. We had multiple officers arrive within minutes, and one of the officers arriving at the old bike path was able to locate one of the individuals.
But police say Levine took off, running through the woods. However, a police canine was able to track him. After about 25 to 30 minutes, he was found several blocks away. Levine is charged with felony armed robbery and 2 misdemeanors. As for Drake, he is also charged with felony armed robbery and the misdemeanor charge of resisting arrest. Police say that this case should serve as a reminder whether or not you're playing Pokémon GO. It's important to always be aware of your surroundings, and it's best to avoid dark, isolated places, especially after dark. Reporting live in Manchester, Ray Brewer, WMUR
Right now, 2 people
News
are
9.
recovering in the hospital after a night out of playing Pokémon GO turned into a gunfight. 13 Action News reporter Parker Collins has the interview that you will see only on 13 Action News.
This park was closed for several hours this morning as investigators and police were out here. They're telling us that 6 people were out here playing Pokémon GO when someone came up to them and demanded money. That guy had a gun, but one of the players also had a gun. They both started shooting at each other, and in the end, 2 people had to go to the hospital. Police think one of them is the suspect.
I've never seen nobody get robbed here or shot at here playing Pokemon, and what do you know? They just happen to be the perfect suspects, I guess. I already deleted the app. I'm cool. I'm not gonna lose my life over somebody who wanna rob somebody.
Police think both people who were shot will live near Washington and Pecos. Parker Collins,
Getting our
13 Action
first
News.
look at the man suspected of shooting at a group of Pokémon GO players. Police say this is Elvis Campos. He's accused of trying to rob the players at gunpoint near Washington and Pecos. But when the players saw his gun, one of them pulled out his own gun and multiple shots were fired. Campos and one of the victims were both
Camera,
injured.
a big scare from a game that was supposed to make you happy. A woman playing Pokemon GO terrifies a group of young children. We are just now getting video of a car driving into a park in Henderson. Witnesses tell us the driver was playing Pokemon GO behind the wheel. 13 Action News reporter Michael Burton joins us live from Anthem Highlands, where it all went down.
You know, Christopher, most of the Pokemon GO stories we've seen have been about some kind of accident that the app has caused. But witnesses tell me this time this was clearly intentional. And if you take a look at the sidewalk here, you can see tire marks. And it looks like that driver used this ramp for easy access onto the sidewalk. The driver takes her time, focused on catching a Pokemon. According to her cell phone, it's right in front of her. In her eyes, the park ahead isn't a playground, it's a Pokestop. The sidewalk isn't enough to block her determination. Over the curb and into the park she goes. Total disregard for the young children watching it all go down.
You can kill somebody by doing that.
Which is why the neighbors want this video on 13 Action News to show just how out of hand the Pokemon craze has become.
I'm afraid my kids are in danger.
The car sits for a few seconds before backing out and leaving the neighborhood.
Out of control.
In a matter of 20 seconds, the driver breaks at least 2 laws: driving on a public sidewalk and driving while distracted.
My kids play it and they said it's fun, but I think if you're driving or in a vehicle, you definitely shouldn't be playing it.
None of the neighbors got a good shot of the car's license plate, so they're not going to get the police involved. Not this time, at least.
I'm not in favor of those Pokemon.
And this all happened yesterday at about 6:30 p.m. and there were only about 3 or 4 kids in the park. Neighbors are just wondering if there were more. Would the car have even stopped? Reporting live in Henderson, I'm Michael Burton, 13 Action News.
A 29-year-old woman from Newmarket is facing some serious criminal charges as a result of firing a BB gun at a group of people playing the Pokémon GO app. This all happened on Saturday night around 10:30 at night when there were people outside on Main Street, Newmarket, in the area of Water Street, playing the Pokémon GO app. About 4 shots rang out in that area from a pellet gun, and they very quickly called 911. Thankfully, no one was struck by any of the pellets, and when we got there, the people on scene were able to identify where those shots were coming from, which was a rooftop of an apartment, a 2-story apartment building, and it was a woman that was shooting at them. Our officers attended the apartment and were able to locate the suspect and arrested her. She's now facing 2 very serious criminal charges, one of possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, and the second, assault with a weapon. There's definitely no excuse for taking shots at people, no matter what they're doing. And in York Region, we haven't had any reported criminal incidents associated with the Pokemon GO app. This is the first one. In fact, we've had a lot of calls from citizens who've noticed people in areas gathering or people walking around in areas where they hadn't previously. We've investigated them and found that people are playing this new Pokemon game. However, they're doing so in a lawful manner. And we just remind people that in the event that you are playing the game, to make sure you're aware of the Trespass to Property Act. Don't enter into private property where it's signed not to be, as well if somebody asks you to get off their property, you have to right away. But in this case, the people were in a lawful manner playing the game, and this person just took shots at them. Thankfully, nobody was injured. If you do spot any suspicious activity, though, we would like to hear from you. Please contact York Regional Police.
With a Pokestop in the game, Fox 8's Melissa Reed is live to explain. Hi there, Elizabeth. Well, it is a worldwide phenomenon. You can't miss them. People just staring at their phones, walking around everywhere, playing Pokemon GO. Well, it just so happens that one Pokestop is the Cadell Rec Center's gazebo. And that just so happens to be the place where Tamir Rice was shot and killed by Cleveland police 2 years ago.
Outside the Cadell Rec Center Monday, you can see people walking heads down, phones up, no doubt playing Pokemon GO. It's a virtual scavenger hunt app that places creatures and items in real locations, and one Pokestop is the Cadell Gazebo. But when you get there, the game unveils more information about the site, reading, quote, community memorial for Tamir Rice, shot and killed by CPD officers who shot him in under 2 seconds after breaking department policy regarding escalation of force, end quote.
People were able to designate different areas for portals. And at that point, somebody created this portal.
A user named Jamie says she wrote the description, playing Pokemon GO's predecessor, Ingress.
I was just here one day and seeing the memorial there, it was kind of odd to look at that picture out of context and have it just be that gazebo, because it's not just some random gazebo.
The gazebo is where 12-year-old Tamir Rice was shot and killed by Cleveland police back in 2014. Her description was transferred over when the makers of Ingress made Pokemon GO.
I didn't want what happened here to be forgotten.
Now, the description in the Poke world is not the real world. In reality, a grand jury decided not to indict the 2 Cleveland police officers involved in the shooting in December of last year. And in real life, the gazebo has become an unofficial memorial to what happened there.
I disagree with it because I'm pretty sure like people want him to rest in peace, and like most of the people that's playing the games are kids.
Life is serious, and this shows them how life is serious.
I do hope that doing this keeps it alive, because this is still an issue. This hasn't been fixed.
Now, we reached out for comment to Pokemon GO's maker, Niantic Labs. We've not had a reply.
Big story: a Pokemon GO player gets tased by Tampa police, and his arrest, you know it, was posted on Instagram.
Get on the ground. Put your hands behind your back. Get on the ground. Put your hands behind your back.
He was one of about 150 people police say were trespassing last night at Ballast Point Park. Officers say everyone else left when they were asked to, but they say this guy refused and tried to push an officer to the ground.
We know you might play, and you probably aren't breaking the law, or at least you don't intend to. You do have to ask, is this phenomenon getting out of hand? 10 News reporter Garen Flowers shows you how this game is eating away at law enforcement resources.
I personally am not into Pokemon Go at all, but I was a huge fan of Pokemon growing up, and I know the main character Ash was always aware of his surroundings, but the game now is leading some of you to break the rules, and that's weighing heavily on law enforcement.
At Ballast Point Park, downtown Tampa is no longer the most intriguing view. Pokemon are.
When I'll play video games and be active.
And sure, it's a craze, but it's not going to end anytime soon.
And so are the big crowds of people gathering with their heads in their phone. Pokemon Go is the app sweeping the nation, but also leading to brushes with the law and dangerous encounters.
People drive and do it.
Oh, yeah,
we saw an accident last night when we were in our community.
In our community, yeah.
It's led people to abandon their cars, like in New York City when Pokemon catchers raced into Central Park, and led to arrests like with Robin Bartholomew, who chased Pokemon into the Toledo Zoo after hours, just like many did last night at Ballast Point Park.
You got to be careful that this app will put you into a position or into someone's property that could cause a problem.
Larry McKinnon with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says he hopes the incidents we've heard about nationwide don't happen here.
Well, it certainly could create a problem if, you know, we have to deal with something because of the end result of a Pokemon game, when actually we should be out there dealing with crime and true emergencies.
So you can still play the game. Just remember, be mindful of the law and your surroundings whenever you're playing Pokemon Go. In Tampa, I'm Garen Flowers, 10 News, WTSP.
There are some other things to remember when you play Pokemon Go so that you do stay safe. You'll find this story on our WTSP app.
And if you're still not convinced Pokemon Go is taking over, listen to these statistics. A new survey says that Pokemon Go is officially the biggest mobile game in the country ever. The game has 21 million active daily users. That's slightly more than Candy Crush Saga and way more than any of the other top games. So what we've learned from tonight's big story, if you play Pokemon, you're not alone, but it's important to follow the rules so law enforcement isn't wasting its time and energy on minor violations like trespassing.
Just within the past hour or so, Phoenix police are giving us an update on a man found dead near Grand Canyon University. It was breaking news on ABC 15 Mornings. Officers identifying that man as 30-year-old Dustin Shirk. A person playing Pokemon Go in the area found Shirk and called 911. Police asking for help and trying to identify a killer. Shot and killed while exercising at a West Phoenix park. And tonight, police believe there may be more witnesses out there.
ABC 15's Sonu Wasu on this story tonight. And Sonu, I understand that you spoke to the mother today.
Yes, Stephanie, Steve, she is pleading for justice. Now, some of the 911 calls that police got from this park here were from people who were playing Pokemon out here. We are at Cialeto Park. This is at Campbell and 35th Avenue, and police say two of those players actually stayed here and tried to help Shirk before help arrived.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart that my son didn't sit there and suffer with nobody by his side.
Police believe someone out there may have heard or seen something. The park is a hotspot for Pokemon lovers as it's home to this guy, Magmar, a rare Pokemon coveted by players. Jody Rogers says day or night, the park is crowded.
A lot of parks that have been barren that I've been to before,
are now full with people.
Dustin Shirk survived the war in Iraq but died a violent death in his own backyard.
And we're in our own war zone here. There's evil people out there. There's a cold-blooded killer out there right now.
Shirk's mother says her son was a Pokemon player and may have been playing the game while out on his nightly jog. He hoped to re-enlist in the Marines before his life was cut short. She pleads with the killer to come clean.
He's my strength. You know, he's been like the foundation of this family. I hope you have a conscience of some kind of home. I don't know, maybe you were out of your mind at the time. I hope your conscience comes back. I hope you do the right thing. You know, you're going to live with this the rest of your life, just like I am.
Now, there's a $1,000 reward for anyone who can help catch this killer. If you know something, we urge you to call 480-WITNESS. Steve?
Yeah, hopefully someone comes forward. Thanks so much, Sonia.
It was 8:45 in the morning and Shayla Wiggins was trying out her new phone game, Pokémon GO. The game gives you the goal of finding different types of Pokemon in your surrounding area. But one thing that was unforeseen was that the game led to something much bigger. Not a Pikachu, but the body of a dead man.
And I went underneath the bridge, and then when I went underneath the bridge, I seen something in the water, and I just tried to see what it I just looked a little closer, and I found a person just face down in the water.
Wiggins immediately called authorities, who quickly showed up to the scene. Wiggins told K2 News she tried her best to explain the game to authorities and why she was underneath the bridge. As you can see behind me, the Riverton Police Department, the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, and the BIA all arrived on scene here approximately 9 o'clock this morning. Now, they taped off the area here at the Wind River Bridge just behind me, just south of Riverton. Officers say that the body was located in 3 feet of water, and early evidence showed that the man fell in the water where he was found. Authorities investigating the scene for hours before gathering the body and transporting it to the Fremont County Coroner's Office.
I don't have a lot of answers at this point in time either. We're just, we're going to have to wait and see what the autopsy reveals, and we'll have a clearer picture of possibly what occurred to this person, and we'll be able to piece it all together as we do with many other investigations that are conducted here around the county.
The identity of the body has yet to be revealed, but the real story is how a simple kids game, Pokémon GO, led to a not-so-playful discovery in the Wind River. Philip Bonatti, K2 News.
By car, suffered only minor injuries, but this teenager learned a valuable lesson about playing Pokémon GO.
I was like, that damn game, I shouldn't have let her play it.
Tracy Nolan shares her anger over Pokémon GO. This is her 15-year-old daughter, Autumn Deisenroth, recovering from injuries after she was hit by a car. The teenager says Pokémon GO took her across a busy intersection at Ross Street and East 9th Avenue in Tarentum. She made it across the street safely the first time as she captured Pokemon. Deisenroth was hit on the way back across the street after playing the game.
It took me to the museum and I got it, and then I walked back to the highway. I put the phone down on my side.
Nolan blames the game for putting her daughter in an area she wouldn't normally visit.
But kids don't just cross a highway. They're not going to walk across a highway for no reason. This thing had her walking across a highway to find a Pokemon. When she called and said that she was hit by a car, I blamed the game, because she would not have been out of my house. My daughter is a hermit.
And Deisenroth blames the game too.
To where, how it is set up, to where we have to cross roads to go get it, on that part, yeah, I do blame it.
Now, state police, they're also sending out a warning to people playing Pokemon GO, saying that the game can cause injuries. That warning also goes out to non-users who drive, to be on the lookout for people not paying attention while playing the game. Reporting live, Sheldon Ingram, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
84 in St. Pete right now. Got a Pokemon? She's looking for Pokemon right now. The location. Guys got to be careful with these phones and this Pokemon. You're just walking around all over the place. 81 in Safety Harbor and Largo, 80 in Seminole, and 82 in Clearwater. Everybody, that's all right. Everybody. There's a live look outside.
Apparently, running out of Pokeballs isn't the only thing you have to be scared of while playing Pokemon GO. Pokemon trainers in Bosnia are urged to be aware of their surroundings and stay clear of landmines while playing the mobile app game. The southeastern European nation is still littered with mines planted during a 1990s conflict in the region. The Guardian reports that a little over 2% of the country is covered with unexploded mines and similar explosive devices. Bosnian demining charity Posavina Besmina issued its warning via Facebook on July 18th after hearing reports of Pokemon Go players venturing into risky areas. The post read, quote, "We ask all citizens to respect all signs warning them about mines and to not enter areas unfamiliar to them." At least 600 people have been killed by landmines in Bosnia since the end of the war in 1995.
Take a look at this. Baltimore police officer standing outside a squad car with one of the officer's body cameras rolling. We'll keep watching, and you'll see a car actually drive up the street hitting the parked squad car. Wait for it. There it is. Luckily, no one was inside. The officers go to check on the driver of that vehicle, only to find out the driver says he hit the squad car because he was playing Pokemon
Japanese
Go.
residents of Hiroshima were unhappy when hundreds of Pokemon Go players rushed to an atomic bomb memorial park in the western city. Niantic has received a request to remove all Pokestops and any other interactive Pokemon sites from what officials say should be a solemn memorial. Hiroshima has requested that the stops be removed by August 6th, which is the anniversary of the Hiroshima bomb dropping. The park hosts a memorial ceremony for the victims on that day. But ever since Niantic released Pokemon Go in Japan, the park has been filled with gamers running around to chase Pokemon. The Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. had a similar problem with Pokemon players entering its memorials.
The mobile game Pokemon Go have placed users in some pretty awkward situations. People have faithfully followed their phone GPS without paying attention and have found themselves in adult sex shops, car crashes, and even shootings. Because of this, countries are trying to prevent accidents like this from repeating themselves. Recently, Japan has decided to take this one step further by addressing Niantic, the company that creates Pokemon Go, to remove all of wild Pokemon that can be found in the Fukushima fallout zone.
What's up, guys? I'm Johnny, and as you may know, Pokemon Go is the biggest trend right now. It's a good way to meet new friends, have fun, and exercise. But unfortunately, as you may have already heard on the news, it's an easy way for child predators to prey on young children. In this social experiment, I'm going to show you how easy it is to abduct a child by using Pokemon Go as bait. I'm here in downtown, a public place, in broad daylight. You playing Pokemon?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. There's a Dragon Knight over there. If you want to go catch that with me, yeah. I just figured since you were playing, I would just come with you to go get it.
Wait, just over there?
Yeah, just right over there. I mean, you don't have to walk with me if you don't want to, but I mean, it is a Dragon Knight.
All right.
All right, you gonna come with me?
Yeah.
All right, come on. Yo, you playing Pokemon?
Yeah.
Do you have a Dratini?
No.
There's one all the way down there. My friend just told me that's where, just right where I was about to turn.
Seriously?
Yeah. You want to go get it with me? I figured I would help you out since you were walking down this way. I could hear the music he's playing. You playing Pokemon?
Yeah.
Did you get a Snorlax yet?
No, not yet.
No? You want to go get one? There's one right back there. There's like a little alleyway over there, and I just caught one before. You want to go get it?
Sure.
All right, come on.
Wait, is it just over there?
Yeah, just right over there. How long have you been playing for?
I played around like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Are you with your parents or anything?
No.
Oh, so you're just alone?
Yeah.
All right.
Is it gonna be quick?
Yeah. How old are you?
Oh, 14.
14?
Yeah.
You're just here by yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. Can I just ask you something? How come you were so willing to come with me?
You said there was a dragon.
Can I just let you know something?
Yeah, sure.
There's really no Dratini here, man.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. Why were you so willing to come with me?
It was a rare Pokemon.
It was a rare Pokemon?
Yeah.
Do you see it anywhere on your phone?
No.
It's not really here. I just lied to you. How come you left with me? I'm a complete stranger. You don't know me at all.
But I really want to Snorlax.
You know, it's that easy for someone to take you, man. You know what I mean? You can't be so willing to come with people over a game, you know what I mean? And you said you were down here by yourself. You see how easy it was to distract you to come down here?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So from now on, you're not gonna go with anyone, right? All right. And you're down here by yourself, man?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you should come down here with a group of friends and stuff, you know what I mean? Or your parents. Do your parents know you're down here alone?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, man. Well, you know, just be careful for now on, all right? Are you here alone? You're not even here with friends?
No.
You're just here alone, just walking, playing Pokemon?
Yeah.
Your parents know? No. No? Wow, man. You said you're what, 14?
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, dude, you gotta be more careful. You gotta come down here with friends or something. Some real advice right now, I think you should call your parents and get picked up, dude. Or have friends come down here. Don't walk down here by yourself anymore. Because this could be real, and you could really be taken just like that. See how easy it was for me to do that?
Yeah.
That could be real, man. So, all right? You gonna call them?
Yeah.
Because you really wanted Snorlax. So that means you could leave with a stranger?
No.
Do you see anybody back here? So if I decided to take you, who do you think's gonna help you? Anybody? So it's just easy for me to take you, right? So, how old are you?
12.
You're only 12 years old, and you're down here? Are you with your parents?
No. We're with a group of friends.
A group of friends?
Yeah, we're all trying to find Pokemon.
Well, how come you guys aren't together in a group?
We're all trying to find different Pokemon, and we're going to meet up at Subway.
Oh, man. Well, how about from now on, you guys stick in a group together? So if this was real, if someone was really trying to take you, you're with a group of people. If you're just walking by yourself, and say the same thing to your friends, they can get taken too. This could be real.
Okay.
You believe me?
Yeah.
You see how easy it was for me to get you back here?
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna meet back up with them and stay in a group from now on, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's not something you expect to see at the Ohio State Fair, an area dedicated to raising awareness to human trafficking. It's a big problem that a lot of people know a lot about. NBC4's Katie Hawk is live at the fairgrounds where some people learned a valuable lesson today. Katie? Patty, rather?
Well, I can tell you that people here just shocked and amazed that people are still being sold into slavery. And it's something that we talk with families about, and they say that they just can't even stomach to think about it.
It's hiding everywhere. Every corner, it's spooky.
Human trafficking, people being sold for profit or for drugs.
It blows me out because I don't have those thoughts, so I can't imagine somebody putting a kid through that, or anybody for that matter.
Todd Brown has 4 kids. He brought his son through this exhibit at the Ohio State Fair known as the Freedom Drivers Project, put together by Ohio State Highway Patrol and the Truckers Against Trafficking.
I want him to see. I haven't got to talk to him about it, but I just want him to realize that it's out there, boys and girls, so evidently they're making money off of it.
I guess I didn't know that that was something that was being done.
Nancy Lonsinger cringing as she watches victim accounts and looking at what traffickers do to keep hold of their victims.
When you look at that, that surprises me. Yeah, that's very sickening.
What
to see about the dog tags and tattoos to show ownership.
According to Truckers Against Trafficking, thousands of American kids are being trafficked each year. Data from the International Labor Organization states that 21 million people are sold into slavery worldwide. Ohio is now the only state that requires truck drivers to be trained in recognizing human trafficking, something officers say is just one step towards finding hope for victims.
Everybody's taking it serious. People are starting to recognize this as a little bit more than just prostitution.
Lonsinger now feeling more prepared to say something when she sees something. But as a mother, teacher, and woman, deeply disturbed it's happening in the world we live in.
It's just like nobody should have to live that way.
Well, we saw a lot of parents coming through here today, some even rushing their kids out because there really is a graphic reality to this. Coming up at 6, we're talking about how just this week at the fair, there was a human trafficking victim that was able to be saved and why officers say it took great courage in order to do so. We're live at the Ohio State Fair. Hattie Hawks, NBC4.